Hey everyone, it's Jim T. Graham with the RC Groups podcast. Welcome. There's no one here yet. Our live viewers take a little bit to accumulate, but if you're not live, then you actually have just started to watch the video. So welcome anyway. Matt Gunn is MIA, but I have a feeling, Jason, that he's making coffee and maybe running downstairs right now. What do you think?
Likely story, but he trips and falls, and then he's got coffee all over him, and then he's like panting, and he gets on the podcast, and he's going to fight through the third-degree burns and do the show with us.
Perhaps he'll break his leg at the bottom of the stairs and can't get to his phone. And we'll do the whole podcast for an hour without being able to contact him.
He's laying there. He needs one of those buttons. I've fallen and I can't get up buttons.
Well, it was just recently his birthday, and I meant the last time we did the podcast to pre-discuss what Jason and I worked out for him for his birthday. Probably shouldn't talk about the original item, but he got it. So if he had that, he probably could call out for help. But I think he disabled that because they got creeped out by the gift. You heard about that, right?
I did not.
Oh, well, I'll let Matt tell you about how his birthday present creeped out his wife.
Weird.
Yeah.
Hey, so I am on our live Hangout, and it says the video is unavailable.
Oh. Well, we have viewers maybe in the chat.
Maybe it's back now. It's like paused.
Paused. It says we're live.
Oh, now it's working. All right.
Ask the viewers if they saw anything of our video while we thought we were not alive.
Y'all see us?
Hey everyone, it's Matt Gunn.
Hey, I decided to show up to, only the most important podcast of the week.
We thought that you broke your leg and were on the ground somewhere.
Man, oh man. I was outside for a few minutes, doing my thing, and then I was like, I'm going to go make some coffee before the show. And then all of a sudden, my phone went, RC Groups is live. And I was like,
I'm on that show.
I know, right?
So I was telling Jason how, first of all, we haven't talked to the users about your birthday gift.
Oh my gosh. It was the best thing ever. I got a story behind it. So do you want to keep talking?
Yeah, well, we didn't tell them anything, so I think it's up to you to do it.
Okay, so apparently I thought I was going to get some sort of elephant underwear, and I'm not
sure. You almost did get that.
Hold on, let me fix my there we are. So I thought I was going to get some sort of random elephant men's Amazon underwear, and I was like, please don't let this actually happen to me.
You know what? You didn't get that for your birthday, but you know what I got? I got that on every Google ad for the last week. That damn underwear has shown up. So
that's because you commented. That's because you reviewed it. You reviewed basically it has to do with an elephant head and a trunk, and we'll let people use their imagination.
It's man underwear. And so I totally forgot. I went in and left a review for it, and I said that I wear this every day. And I love to run in them, and that I love that they're different colors for each day of the week.
Wow, I did not know they had multiple colored elephant undies.
That's right.
Anyway, so I get this nice package in the mail, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's my underwear.
And it said I didn't know who it was from until I saw it said Maticus Gun. Yeah, I said there's only two people that call me Maticus Gun, and I work with them. So
I would have put Maticus Gunnicus, but I didn't know if the lady would not give it to you.
Do you realize that I thought that? I was like, he would have put Maticus Gunnicus, but it would have gotten rerouted to Alaska or something.
Right.
So yeah, it would have got pulled aside for inspection. So open it up, and it is the Google Home Mini. Yay. So for those that don't know, it's kind of like Alexa, sort of, but you don't say, hey, Alexa, you go, yo, Google, or you say, hey, Google, or something like that. Okay, Google, right? You know how it goes. So I set it up, and I'm now connected via telepathy to the internet. It's really crazy. So anything that I say now, it's listening all the time.
But you didn't know that until...
So I'm watching Suits, awesome show, and my wife and I, we had set up the Google Home Mini, and we were just playing with it, having fun, listening to music, and then I just kind of let it be, right? for the weekend. I didn't really ask it to do anything else. And Sunday night, we're watching Suits. It's like 10:30 at night. My son's asleep. The house is quiet. We're watching it. And I'm yelling at the TV. And I say something to the effect of, gosh darn it, just Google it, or something like that, because they're obviously in Suits. They have the internet and they can look this stuff up. So I go, just Google it. And all of a sudden behind me, a voice I had not heard in days goes, I'm sorry, Matt, I can't help you with that. And I go, ah, and I turn around and my wife is flipping out. And she's like, what is that? I said, it's Google Home Mini. She said, it's listening to us. I said, I can cut the mic off. She said, do it now. But I didn't do it.
You're going to get in trouble.
So basically, yeah, it's listening to us. And I really am not into the whole tinfoil hat, Big Brother spying thing. I should be more vigilant, but I'm not as much as I should be, I think. But I really started to wonder, maybe this thing is listening to me, developing patterns, deciding what it's going to serve ads to me in the future based on what I'm arguing with my wife.
Oh, yeah.
So, or talking about. We don't always argue. But it was not cool. And I do appreciate the Google Home Mini, and I use it all the time, guys. So thanks.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
So
yeah.
Well, I apologize to the guys in the chat who are probably no longer there because it's not really working anymore.
What do you mean?
We've got live viewers and it looks like we're on, but the YouTube is not displaying the live feed anymore. It's completely gone, so I can't get on it. I can't see the live chat. So if you're out there, enjoy.
Actually,
okay.
YouTube had an issue a few weeks ago where it wouldn't list any of our anyone's posts or comments to a video, and it was totally a YouTube thing, and then it magically started back up.
Yeah, it says this video is unavailable, so I don't think we're live.
Well, it says
we are live through Google through Hangouts, and we still have viewers.
Ah, cool.
Unless that number is just wrong.
It is dropping.
Hey,
how could someone tell us if they can see us? Could they PM us on the site, perhaps?
We could ask Nikolai or Joe. Let me ask them.
Or shoot me a PM on RCGroups.com.
If you're out there and you're listening, just yell as loud as you can. We'll all listen.
Fly the drone at us.
I think I heard something.
I smell something in my office, and it smells like hot PLA, but there is no hot PLA in my office.
Maybe you're having phantom smells.
PLA? That doesn't work as good as hot trigger.
Hot PLA.
Hot ABS. Maybe you're having phantom.
John just texted me and said it's working for him, so we're all good.
Cool.
Good. I was about to go off of my energy level, and I'm glad I did.
Boom.
Energy depleted.
Wow.
Speaking of PLA, I've got a non-PLA print here I can show you guys.
What do you mean? What else is there? ABS? TPU.
This is a PETG.
Pedig.
And this literally just finished. And I have to print.
Sorry.
What?
Is Pedig the flexible stuff? What the heck is Pedig? What is?
It's like it's more durable like ABS, but it prints easier and lower temperatures, a little bit higher than PLA, but not as high as ABS. And it's stronger than PLA, doesn't break down, has a higher temp.
That looks like some sort of wing holder. Did you make that, or did you pull that off of?
No, this was Thomas from Armsor Composites designed this. They've got a bigger one for some of the full size 1.5 meter DLGs. This is for the Go Mini, which I have. So, but get this, this particular brand of PETG, I normally print PLA at like 60 millimeters a second, full speed. And then this had to print at 20. So it took a whopping 78 hours.
I can't believe you made it.
There's got to be this point where you say, this isn't worth it, I'll just buy it. But they don't make that.
They don't make that, and I didn't mind. I mean, it just sat there just for days. But let me show you how it works. So it's pretty cool. So when you're at the field, instead of just laying the glider on the ground, you've got this one way where it'll just slide right in, and then it's sitting on the ground, and you can hold it.
That's awesome.
You can work on it. You can do stuff. But it's also got, what I think is brilliant. You can flip it around the other way, and it sits upside down. If you need to get to any of your components, this one has a bottom hatch, so you can get to your servos and everything while it's resting there, safe and sound.
That is awesome.
So
you should do a
anyway,
story
very
on
cool.
it, Jason.
I might. That was definitely the longest print I've ever done thus far.
Matt, how's Jason's connection for you?
He's pretty bad.
Say what?
Okay.
Yeah, it's not us, it's you. Jason's Google Fiber is not living up to its expectations. You say that all the time.
It must be the service.
It
can't be me. I'm getting like 300 plus megabits per second download and like 400 upload. My internet's so good, it's breaking up for you because you guys can't keep up.
Oh my God. Is it switching? We're just having all sorts of issues. It hasn't switched over to me yet, so I don't know what's going on.
I love to tune in.
Well, I'm presenting, so that's why.
Oh, you've been presenting.
I've also got another thing I want to talk about at some point. You guys just let me know when you're ready.
Well, I thought that we should talk about the Deerfly Messerschmitt. Matt, are you the resident Warbird guy?
Sort of. Yeah,
what do you think about this dang doe thing?
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, it's still a what is it? That wingspan's got to be 60 or 55 or something like that.
Take a look at the specs.
Isn't it like 1100 millimeters?
43. I can't take these small airplanes anymore.
So it's a 40 size.
I like it. It's as scale as they get for foam. I mean, look, it's got the scale propeller.
Look at that guy.
All right.
Those are pretty scale looking. Wow.
Wow, it's some trash and some airframes there in the name of a war flick.
Can you imagine?
Is that the Messerschmitt? Is that the Butcher Bird? Am I wrong?
I don't know. I should know. I tank more than I fly. Otherwise, I'd know what it was. I was tanking yesterday, first time in a long time. Well, there it is.
Wolf FW190 is the Butcher Bird. Sorry. Okay, so this is a great looking plane. They got the gear right. They got the nose right. It looks pretty realistic, I must say. However, I am just not feeling this size of aircraft anymore.
You want to go bigger?
Yeah, I got to, man. We got to have something larger. I mean, the argument in my OV10 thread was the cost of the molds are upwards of a couple of $100,000.
Oh my gosh, I had no idea.
For a large mold, I'm sure these are cheaper but somebody in the industry said that they were a couple of $100,000 or something like that for a mold. So yes, I can understand why you don't see a lot of 80-inch and sized foam aircraft like this that are super scale. But man, it looks awesome.
If it's painted like our Navy Cubs, then it looks even better in person because those Cubs look awesome.
I'm kind of anti big planes for the moment, just because I love them and they're great to fly, but I never stick them in my car and go to the field with them anymore.
Yeah, see, that's what people say. I hear that.
It's all about the little stuff.
Yep, that's what I hear from a lot of people that aren't interested because of the size of their vehicles. So I guess I'm a little skewed because I have a pickup truck.
Mm-hmm.
But well, yeah, a couple of good themes there. I like the yellow one better.
I said Dom Drop instead of bomb drop.
Dom Drop.
Look at it.
I think these planes are notoriously difficult to taxi and land because of the gear like that, but they looks like they did it pretty well.
$198 for the whole dang thing.
Dangle. Not bad.
What's the problem? Are we good? Are we rolling? We're joined by a special guest, Nellie Graham, right here. Oh, she's going for the mouth. If you don't do it right, she'll get it right in your mouth, and that's not good. So we just had some technical difficulties. Nellie came in and worked on a few things. Thank you, Nell. And hopefully everything's working. I'm sure Jason's looking at the live feed to see if we're living up. There's 5 new live viewers on here, guys. You are dirty and muddy, young lady.
There's something wrong with YouTube because it's literally not showing up on the channel for the Hangout anymore.
Okay. Well,
anyway,
YouTube
we'll just
not
keep
working.
rocking and rolling.
Should we keep rocking and rolling or should we not? I'll tell you what, Jason.
They were saying they could watch still.
Nikolai says, you guys' video is fine. It's just Jason's that is choppy.
Ah, good.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know how that makes any sense whatsoever, but I don't know either.
I guess it's when you go too fast, it's just, You go too slow, Jason.
Well, the good news is I'm moving in like a month or two, and we won't have to deal with it.
Yeah, that's right. Where
Wait, no more fiber?
No, I will have fiber again. It's a different company though.
Okay.
TDS fiber, still big speeds.
So you're getting a behind the scenes look at what happens when we all just talk on video chat.
Let me show you guys something cool, man, that I got.
Should we reenact what we've already discussed or do that?
No, it's all good.
Okay.
No, they all saw it. It's on YouTube. That video, 14 minutes, is on YouTube.
I guess we'll leave
it
up.
I can't
maybe our most
live portion of it, it'll still be there.
Okay.
Look at this. It is the RunCam Split Mini. So they just keep getting smaller and smaller.
TVL?
So this not only records, not only is an FPV camera, but it is a 1080p 60 frames a second recorder. Look, it's got the little, where is it? There it is, right here. Oh my God, I don't know where it went. There's a there's a little here it is. Right there, the little SD card. So this all hooks together, and then you have a nice lightweight onboard GoPro style HD recorder and FPV camera in one for your very small rig. So you don't have to run a big bulky one of these on top. Pretty cool, huh? Echo, you guys alive? Jason?
If nobody can hear me and my video feed sucks, I'm not going to talk about it. Is Jim just stuck, though?
I don't know. I lost Jim.
Jim's gone. What is happening?
Jim didn't say anything. Jason stared in his face. Oh, Jason. Jim just let go.
What is happening today? Is it a full moon or something?
It was frozen on my side.
It was. Oh my God, Jim! You look like you were just staring, and I'm like, "Are you guys alive?" This is like the most backwards
video for
feed.
Jim. Do you see him?
No, I don't have video for Jim. Maybe we should just cut this short.
There's his video.
There he is. It's Google, YouTube, and
it's not us. That's for sure.
So very cool little cam. I'm excited to put it on and do some flying as soon as it warms up past 27 degrees Fahrenheit outside. But once that happens, I'm going flying. What?
Sean said now the video is upside down. I don't know if he's pulling my leg or not, but if he's not, that's hilarious.
It should be.
At least we're not
down.
giving something away. This could be the giveaway day. Everything could be going sideways.
Jeez Louise.
You know,
Google, get it together.
I subscribe to something called Expedition Overland, and it is a 4-wheel drive sort of podcast like this. And they were giving away some stuff, and it was a question and answer. So it was really neat. We should actually try doing this sometime. We should get a whole bunch of stuff together. Hey, that's the first part, right? It's just get all the things. Yeah. Then you ask trivia questions about RC groups or things that people would know about the hobby, and the first person in the live feed to get it right wins that product.
Awesome.
So,
like a question you can ask might be, what sex is Terry the transmitter?
Awesome. The correct answer is he's androgynous.
Yes, there is no sex for Terry the transmitter.
So remember that we may have a quiz on that. Anyway, they had the same problems we had, and they had like 150,000 people that were. This is really a huge worldwide thing. So they had problems. The guy was getting really choppy when he was talking, so they kept breaking, coming back, breaking and coming back, and it was like fourth time, and an hour later it really made people upset. So
they probably just overloaded. That's probably our problem.
Yeah, but we only broke once, so we're okay. That's my whole point.
We get that 100,000 people up on here, and maybe that was it.
And maybe that would be it. Yeah. So
you're showing, when you pop up on screen, you show as HD.
Oh yeah, because I have a nice clean feed right now, guys. You come up as HD too, Jimby.
Oh, nice.
Yep, says in the bottom corner.
It's fluctuating in and out based on bandwidth, though.
That's right. Well, maybe if it'll stick on Jason for a second, I can see if he's HD.
Oh, his is SD.
Oh, his is Ultra LD, low def.
ULD.
The worst of all the Ds.
He's not even VGA. He's EGA. Remember that, guys? Do you remember EGA cards back in the days of IBM computers where it was 16 colors? Do you guys remember that?
I had floppy disks. I mean,
I had floppy disks. I used to play King's Quest, for gosh sakes. Sierra Gaming.
I remember the first flight sim that ever came out. My friend bought it. I said, "What do you do?" And he said, "I'm a flight simulator." And I was like, computers are pretty new. And I thought, finally, something cool on a computer. And I was a kid. So I went and stood behind him. The flight simulator consisted of lines that were trees, and then the crosshair in the middle, and then a black screen. Wow. That was the flight simulator. And so your goal was not to hit the ground, which was a line.
Man, oh man, I remember. Yeah, but I remember that my first flight simulator experience, and it wasn't that bad. This must have been in the late 70s, Jim.
Nah, I was in high school. I graduated in 84, so this must have been around, maybe 80, 78.
80. You graduated in 84. I was 6 years old.
Wow. Well, I was street racing in 1984 and not stopping for anything.
Well, I had a go-kart, so I was sort of street racing.
Right.
I used to run from the cops. Oh my gosh, that's a whole nother podcast.
You can't talk about that, there's no statute of limitations on that stuff.
No way, dude. Those documents are sealed.
Yeah. Speaking of talking to people, I talked to someone today about something. It is an airplane, and it is coming. And Jason, you're probably going to get it, and it's big, but it was all off the record. So
what?
Yeah, well, you're not getting it anytime soon. It's
wait, it was the
no one guessed what it is.
I'm not gonna say, but it was that thing that we were gonna do that thing for, but it didn't happen, right?
One of those things. It's just in the future.
Yeah.
So I was talking to a person about it, and so
how's Jason gonna do it if he has a small car and it's a big airplane?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
It probably breaks down.
Your car? No, the airplane. Yes.
I'm guessing.
Your car probably breaks down.
My car breaks down.
So everyone, Jason bought a new car, not recently, but it would have been great podcast fodder. He installed a full-on charging system, and actually, did you take it to a stereo shop to upgrade the wiring so that the car could actually handle?
Yeah, I took it to the local custom shop.
You should have had
with
me
the
do
guy,
it,
by the way, who used to work for West Coast Customs. If you've ever heard of that show.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the guys that used to work there works this place in Nashville. Anyway, I took my car in, I told him what I needed, and they ended up taking the alternator to a guy who does all the alternators for the police and emergency services vehicles. So they modified it so that it can pull like 80 amps at idle while the car is idling.
Wow.
So I've got giant, really thick, DC cables going back off the battery to the back of the car where I have a connection point. I've also got a 2,500 watt or something, giant, foot wide by half a foot freaking power inverter for AC. So I can do AC or DC and just charge anything I want off my car. So it's awesome.
So now you're talking,
love it.
You're sort of in my wheelhouse now. You've seen my setup, right? In the back of my truck.
Yep.
It's
killer.
Matt has the ultimate RC rig, but it's also the ultimate bug out rig. You got it all, man. Solar panels, picnic tables. You got it all.
I do. The only thing I don't have is, I have a 110 in the back that comes with the truck. So it's an inverter built in, but it's the problem with it is that it's only 400 watts and it is a modified sine inverter. Now, if you don't know what that means, a true sine inverter, if you look on an oscilloscope, the wave is
SYNE, right?
Yeah, it goes like this. No, it's SINE, and it goes like this. And then a modified sine goes blocks like that. So if you hook a computer or if you hook many appliances, even computers up to it, they don't work right. It doesn't get the right voltage. My fans sort of pulsate. It's really weird. So true sine inverter is more expensive. Whereas a 1,000-watt modified sign you can get for like $60 or $70 on Amazon. The true sign is like $200. So I want to pick one of those up for camping purposes because I like to sleep with a fan going. I'm just a big baby when it comes to camping. But,
some of my guitar pedals have sine waves as options as modulation. That's how I know what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone. Flight Craze, Tom, T-H-O-M. I know another Tom, T-H-O-M, Tom. He says, we can see the live vid and the chat. You guys are awesome and my heroes. I've always wanted to meet all of you and fly with you. And one day I will buy you all dinner for a week in a row.
Wow.
He only wrote the first part. He only wrote, we can all see the live vid and chat. Everything else.
Oh man, I was hoping. Okay, well, let's go ahead and hold him to all that, and we'll expect him to come to Joe Knoll, and we'll be going to Red Lobster.
I made myself
Sizzler for some grub.
Hey everyone, we're having a little RCGroups problem, and maybe it doesn't affect you at all, but we're having a little bit of a editing and approval issue on the site. So if you have a thread that has not been approved or a post or something like that, we are working on it, but it is a dealio that is occurring.
Jason, what you got going?
The dealio. Well, guys, it's a long time coming, but I forgot to talk about it last week. Is officially available to watch.
What is that? A deadly weapon on the front of that?
A limited view. It could be considered.
Which one of you is which? Who are you? What number are you? You're right there.
So this is Mr. John.
I can tell.
Yeah,
he's got his cargo pants on. You all are wearing cargo pants.
This is me.
You're under the R.
Yeah, I'm under the R. And so this is all the teams, all the guys that we competed against. And so it's officially available if you have DirecTV's 4K channel with the 4K box. So it's very kind of limited. Right now, they are selling it to international markets and then standard channels as well. So that could come out later. I'm likely going to, didn't hear this from me, maybe camcorder record it. Okay. And then I may have a private channel someplace for people who wants to see it to watch it.
So you can't record it in a recorder through
no, there's all kinds of copy protection. We've got some guys that have more equipment than I have available, looking at ways to strip that and do it. But for now, this might be the only way to get it done until it's sold. But I just wanted to show, here's a couple of
watch out. Is that Miss Ashley?
No, that's Vanessa, who's the host.
What is everybody looking at? This guy,
she's talking, and we're having to look at her.
This guy on our left right here is kind of covering this area. He's got a stage problem here. We got a wardrobe malfunction.
This was from last week's episode, which was drone racing, but not your standard drone racing, because you can see these copters are big and not really racers. There were a couple of standard ones, but you'd have to watch the show. But here's me and John.
Team John, he's looking very serious.
And then here we are, pimping RCGroups on the
all right
of the goggles.
John's
like peeking over there, like, you got this, buddy.
That's awesome.
You guys rocking it.
So anyway, I wanted to talk about that. The show's out. It's pretty fun to watch, and knowing the background of what actually happens versus what they show and how they edit together is really fun. So
go back to the second picture.
Here.
Yeah, you're also rocking the RCGroups logo. You're strategic. Look at that. Good work, man.
Got the DX9 showing. Got that. Yeah. And then can I show you guys another picture that's pretty hilarious?
Please. Yeah.
This will be like a behind the scenes thing. Drop it to my computer real quick here. So we had teams from all over. There's a couple of guys from LA, and during the show they would always pretty funny things like
you're cutting out pretty bad, Bubba.
Anyway,
keep going.
Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can you see that image? I don't know what you're looking at yet.
It's still missing.
Let me screen share this other one.
I'm staring at Miss Drone USA.
Boom, boom, boom. Application window. Here it is. All right. So this image.
Yeah. Oh, hold on, let me share your screen.
There's that transmitter thing again going on.
Yeah. You notice what he's doing with his transmitter antenna?
Yeah.
You see that? Yeah.
That
was pretty funny and done completely on purpose. And it actually made it on air.
He's putting his transmitter antenna in a zipper?
Pretty funny. No, it's because you know.
What?
You know.
Yeah.
You get it. Like a phallic symbol, like he's making the antenna. Come on,
purpose.
What kind of show is this?
Yeah, this is supposed to be wholesome family television.
It's all good fun, man. It's all in good fun. Oh well, I can. You know, we're not even going to go into some other things that I can't talk about.
You got a gag order.
Anyway, hilarious.
Well, I can't wait to see it, and I hope that it comes out on Sling or Netflix. It's not going to be on Netflix, but it would be nice if it was on something that I could watch it on my Roku, right?
Yeah, it might. I was excited. I gave it a 50-50 shot of ever coming out, and just the fact that it has is pretty cool.
It's like 2 years old now, right?
We filmed in, what was it, 2016? Fall of 2016, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah, it's about a little over a year since we filmed.
Well, if you take one thing from your entire experience, one thing that you would say, what would it be, Jason? Lesson
I
learned,
would say,
or a bit of advice, or something about it.
I think that you found out that haircuts in Croatia are as good as haircuts in America.
No, they actually screwed up my hair a couple times. I heard that you wanted it because
I heard you had some problem with lunch meat or something.
Don't get catering. And if you're ever in Croatia, just go buy your own stuff. It's cheap. You can afford it. Just buy it. Don't eat mystery lunch meat for breakfast. It's
from a random store in Croatia.
No, it was all catered and brought to the set, and pretty disgusting.
Was it bad? That really?
Most of the time, yeah. I think everyone involved would say that the food was terrible. That was catered. Now, when we went out to eat and got our own food, all that stuff was great.
How did you pay? You did not pay in USD, did you?
We call them Hakuna Matatas. I think it's called the kuna, maybe. Okay. Is the currency? Yeah, we all just got money transferred over into cash for the local currency.
And how was the exchange rate? I mean, were you like rich over there?
I don't think anybody knew or cared. We were just, everything was like, I think once you did the math, like things were so cheap, except for maybe Cokes and like soft drinks, but pizza all the time, really good pizza, ice cream everywhere for like super cheap. So it was totally cool.
Yeah, I heard you did eat a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, it was, comfort food, and I had a lot of Snickers as well. No, not Snickers, Twix. It was Twix. John would have a bunch. We'd all throw them in the refrigerator and just pull Twix out whenever we needed some comfort after a long day.
That's healthy.
Again, I'm going to reference my show, Expedition Overland. They went down to South America, and they're going through Chile or whatever. And they're in the middle of nowhere, 100 miles in either direction from anything. And what they get out their comfort food, and you know what it is? They have it. It's something that they had not had in 50 days. And everyone had one. They got it out. It was a Mountain Dew.
Ooh, Mountain Dew.
So they're standing out on the middle of a salt flat with nothing around them anywhere. There's no gasoline, no nothing, no power, no people. And they all stand in a big circle, and they each pop their Mountain Dew that they passed through customs, hidden inside of their trucks so that it wouldn't get confiscated. And they drank their Mountain Dews, and it was like a warm campfire. You know what I'm saying? They were all extreme. I think one of them shed a tear. Sweet sugar.
Whenever I go to Mexico, my mom always, the minute before we leave, emails me and says, I need you to bring this certain odd food to Mexico. This time it was bread. It was Hawaiian rolls and mayonnaise. But one time she had me bring bacon from the U.S. in my suitcase to Mexico.
Wait a minute. How did that happen?
She said, I need you to buy this bacon and put it in your suitcase and bring it. It was pre-cooked.
Oh, gotcha.
But still, I'm pretty sure no one's cool with you bringing bacon.
Yeah, it's called Smuggler's Blues. Well, you did it. But what you couldn't smuggle out of there was a gigantic glass revolver.
Yes.
And that's for another story.
Big gun in your bag and think you're going to get it through customs. Hey, everyone, I have some good news in the RC world. OMP, John and Pat. Now, can you see them in your head? I can, because whenever I'm at a show, I take a picture with John and Pat, and Miss Pat always wants to hug me. but she never wants me to take her picture. So one thing I always would do is take her picture when she wasn't looking, but I would only use the best picture of the group. And always, the next time I saw her, I would say, "Did you see how good you looked in the photo?" And she would say, "Yes."
Oh, what a gentleman.
Don't take any more photos of me, though. So John Drake says, after 18 years of enjoyment and hard work, I've concluded it's time to sell Ohio model products. The reason I'm aware of OMP is they sold a lot of the profile planes. In fact, I did reviews for them before I ever worked for RCGroups. But he sold it to a younger, more energetic, but not better looking person. At the age of 70, my knees are starting to give out and it's very hard to do things. OMP has enjoyed a great reputation in the modeling world and a good following from customers. We have found a company willing and capable to buy OMP. Oh, it's right here in front of us. Okay. Sunny Sky USA will be at the Toledo show and they will be taking OMP. Now, Sunny Sky is Doug, and that is also Buddy RC. Is it one and the same, Matt?
I think they're importers of Sunny. I could be wrong. Maybe Doug is on right now, but Sunny Sky, they make some good motors, don't they, Jason? Isn't that?
Yeah, buddy. Lots of good stuff. Yep.
Oh yeah.
If you're at Toledo, you will see, based on years in the past, you'll see Sunny Sky's booth right next to the Buddy RC booth. And
it looks like Dale and Doug have their hands in a lot of awesome products through Buddy RC.
Well,
we'll just leave it like that, right?
They're out of Ohio, and so is John. And so last night I actually knew about this a little while in advance, and I was holding the story, but then I couldn't hold it anymore. And I wrote Doug and I said, man, I want you to tell everyone what you're going to do moving forward. So in fact, I need to go check. He is writing something to add to the article. I may turn it into a separate article. And they're going to update us on what they're going to do with OMP and their plans and all that. So you can keep your eyes on flyinggiants.com to learn more about the OMP movement forward.
Well, I'll tell you what, those guys make one heck of a giant scale or semi-giant scale profile plane called the Fusion. And it can be either gas powered, I think with a 20cc or 30cc, or electric. But man, it's a nice aircraft. And I'm surprised. I think your profile Brotherhood, Jim, is more stick built, like.
Well, yeah, but
ARP's frowned upon in the profile Brotherhood is my question.
Nope, and they're getting harder and harder to come by. OMP was always one that we could count on, and so it's great to know that they are moving forward, not just going away. That's awesome.
Yep. We've seen a lot of companies over the past few years come and go. I think most of it is, I'm just going to go out and say it. It has a little bit to do with the FAA. It has a little bit to do with different styles of flying that seem to be more prevalent these days.
So anyway, a big thanks to John and Pat for 18 years. And what I was about to say is you could blame it on the FAA, but I really do. I mean, we've been around long enough to see styles come and go. And things get big and things get small. I mean, it's like ducted fans were the biggest thing in the hobby at one point in time, and they didn't go away because of the FAA. They just kind of fell away due to this and that and evolution.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I agree with you to an extent. It's giant scale flying also. I mean, OMP is rooted in some of the larger scale stuff, right? They've always been
they're big
sort of a balsa. Yeah, and so no one will deny that there's been a decline in giant scale flying. People want quicker gratification. People don't want to spend a lot of money flying. Or I don't know if that's entirely true, but
I'm going to counterpoint you. FlyingGiants.com has as many users online as it's ever had in its history.
That's true. Okay, I agree with you there. However, I'll counter that once again as that I do see a lot of threads, and by a lot, I mean 2 to 3 tops every couple of months. What's wrong with our hobby? The state of the union. Is there a decline in IMAC? Is there a decline in giant scale? Blah, blah, blah. And it seems to be that people like to say, it's the dang drones. They're destroying us, but I don't know, man. I mean, look, JR had issues. We've got Hobbico issues. A lot of big companies are going under. Some of them are struggling to stay afloat. What do you think that is? You think it's the FAA? Do you think it's just people wanting quick, instant gratification from and instant gratification? I'm not saying is a bad thing, but to open the box and same day fly a big foam plane or a big balsa plane versus building a giant scale airplane, even if it is an ARF, and setting it all up and all that stuff.
Let's go there. Who's the king of the RTF? The king of the RTF is Horizon Hobby.
I will agree with you there.
Develop their own projects. They have people designing their own planes. They're all amazingly turnkey. I've reviewed everything, and there's nothing more turnkey than a Horizon bird. And I will admit, as a 50-year-old man, that I like an ARF at this point in the game. I don't have 2 months to build a plane like I did when I or my kids were babies. Actually, that's when I built. And then when my kids got old enough to need to go places and do things and buy things, and that's when I moved into ARFs because that's facilitated my hobby and allowed me to fly.
It's true. The faster you can get up and going, the more excitement for me. Now, there on the other side of that is the guys that really enjoy building, and they build quickly, and then they catalog it on RCGroups, Flying Giants, and Facebook, social media, and stuff like that. And then they go out and they compete in Top Gun and things like that, right? Who's our big guy who's the guy that always does the cool videos, Jim, that you were just talking about, the weathering?
I was going to say there could be a more prolific builder, but I don't know of one. It would be Peter Goldsmith, who just makes these astounding airplanes from scratch, basically, and they're just amazing.
And he does it fast too. I mean, literally, it's every couple of weeks he's starting a new build, and then he's maidening it in a few weeks. How do you do that? Granted, he's got his daughter helping him, right? Like, which is totally cool, by the way, that it's a family thing now, building these aircraft.
I was lucky enough to get to hang out with he and she and his wife and her and his daughter's, I guess, boyfriend / fiance. I'm not sure, but super sweet girl. And probably, I'm going to guess around 25, 26 years old. And then Pete retired from Horizon. So that's how he affords the time to go in the shop and make that happen. If we were retired, we could build some stuff ourselves.
Yeah. If I was retired, I don't know. I'd probably still fly the foam, the quick gratification foam airplanes.
Hey, but before we get too close to the end of the hour, I'm going to share my screen and say, hey, the Buddy RC contest. We discussed it last time we were on the air. And here it is. How do you like that, Matt? I put that whole thing on a fake table.
You done good. I like it. Let me go ahead and share your screen. You got 6,500 views on this contest thus far. Not too shabby. I like how you stuck that on there. You weren't going for realism, right, or else you would have put a shadow in there. But
yeah,
it looks good. Looks real good.
It was, I wanted to showcase what you might win, but I also wanted to stick it in the shop. So I was pretty amazed. I found a picture that even worked at the same angle, but that's not what we're here to talk about. I was reading a thread by Leadchucker, and he was talking about his shop, and I thought, okay, this is a contest. So Buddy RC stepped up for the T8 1000 watt 30 amp 8S smart charger. And there it is. That's Matt Gunn's hand right there. Pretty
good looking hand.
So here we have all that. We actually went over this last week, but everyone's posting their shops, and
I wish mine looks that clean.
That's pretty nice. Now I have a question, so be sure to go and check it out. If you have a shop photo, enter this contest, have some fun. You might actually win. I'm going to go to flyinggiants.com and go to the contest we're having there, which is located. Is this it?
Mm-hmm. How long does this bad boy run for, Jim? January 31st.
Okay. That's
all right. It's coming up.
6 more days.
There's this contest. And the concept is you visit the FMS site and post a link and a picture of the plane you love the most on the site. But so you can enter that. But we have another contest. It's in the final stages. I'm actually starting to confuse the contests here.
We got a lot going on.
Yeah, it's the design contest. So I'm going to go to the last page. The concept here, it's already entries are over. Mm-hmm. You would design your own plane, and there's a reason for all this. Go to the last page, and that's going to link us to where you can vote right here.
Yeah.
And so I actually voted. I don't know if that's allowed, but why wouldn't it be, right?
Sure.
Look at that. The Wild Child Flame is winning. And then down here are the schemes now.
Which one's the Wild Child Flame?
That would be the last one.
Let's see it.
They should have names on here.
Oh, I like that one. Because
Now, this
I
is the guy
love orange.
This is the one I voted for, right? The shark.
Oh, that looks pretty decent. Yeah, we did like that. I like how they did that.
I'm a big checkerboard guy. A lot of my planes have had checkerboards. I can't believe this never occurred to me. That's why I voted for it.
Mm-hmm. All right, keep going. Let's see some more.
I never think of that.
Okay, I like that. That's pretty good. That's
black and white. I think this guy said that I know Jim Graham's favorite colors, but I don't get to vote. So.
I like this one. I can see that would look so good in real life.
That is super pro level right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then that is the Vedvelo. That's the guy, I think.
I do like the sort of
urban camo
disruptor look to it. Urban camo.
I think that's what he called.
Yeah, it looks pretty decent.
Pretty hot. I would have outlined this yellow and black to make it pop a hair more.
Looks good. That's the one that's got all the votes.
We'll find out. If there's nothing after this, then this is it. Yep, that's the
Wild Child Flame
right now.
That would not be my first choice, but I do like it. I think I like the blue one.
That one.
Mm-hmm.
Named Two Mad Checkers. Let's see how that's doing.
Oh, he's got 6.
6. Wow. The one I like has 27, but 41. This guy's definitely the runaway winner at this point.
Yeah.
Interesting that people usually yellow is a strong color, usually for a plane, but you got to mix yellow with red or blue to make it really work. So it's interesting.
I'm just not a fan of flames anymore. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
There's only so many flames you can throw at an airframe before it's played out.
Yeah. I was the king of flaming out airplanes in the early days.
You're a flamer.
Hey, if you guys haven't visited our Flying Giants, if you're just an RC Groups only guy, I'm not saying you should come live here, but you should come over here and check it out. These are giant scale pilots who spend a lot of money on their birds. And they're usually an FG guy is a really great builder who only uses the best parts and very sophisticated, these guys, I think, in their building. Some of them are as redneck as me. But, but as far as building planes.
But there's a lot of good news over here that we don't often. So we do try to cross-pollinate, but there's a lot of news over here that is unique to Flying Giants.
Right. And we definitely, somebody asked me, I believe it was Vapor Trails, asked if we were going to start moving stories from one site to the other. The only time you'll see a story on both sites is when it really applies to both.
Correct. And you can back it up a notch and show that with the Avios 330LX there. I think we did on both sides.
Yeah, and I did this Jonal update fairly soon on both sides.
Yeah, there's a place for a lot of this stuff on both sides. But
Matt, did you take that photo? I think I took this photo.
That one looks like yours.
Yeah, because it's not as. I definitely can tell the difference between our photos. Mine are usually softer.
Are they?
Oh. Well, yeah.
That's a good photo, though, man. Look at that elevator.
The only thing I'm missing here is a sweet little smoke ring. Pop, pop, pop. I love smoke rings.
They do pop, don't they?
I just love them. I love my favorite place to shoot a photo is at Jonal. And if you don't have smoke on your plane, then I'm out of there. I gotta have smoke.
Go to the best of Flying Giants right there. I want to be at Jonal permanently at that time in that picture. I just want to walk around and just press pause.
We did not take it.
That's the best. I did not. That one, I put the guy's name in there. Copyright Michael
Foster took it. But I did ask his permission before we ever used it. Not in this article, but in the other article.
Correct. Yeah, we did. It was in another one. Jim,
you got to cut that hair, Jim T. You look like a schoolgirl.
Woo-wee. A lot of good stuff in here. There's one of mine right there. So see how I put that Flying Giants logo back there. Obviously, that's not real life.
Really nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
We have a good relationship with. I like going through this stuff. That's my favorite photo I've taken.
Tavis.
Yeah, that's a good one.
The girls. And Matt.
Well, and Matt. Don't forget the and Matt. This is
I made this.
Yep, that was a good one. I enjoyed it. It's matched nicely to the prop.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I've always enjoyed. I'm going to stop now, hitting the stop button. I've always enjoyed Photoshop way before I've started Photoshop in 1996. Matt, I believe you were 3 years old at the time.
That's pretty funny. 96, huh?
And now my son takes it as a class in school. It certainly wasn't a class when I went to school.
I started college in 2000. So if that says anything. Actually, 1999-ish. Yeah.
I don't know about you, Jason, but I know that if I'd have taken all the classes I should have for the role I played today, none of it would apply. It would all be so out of date.
Yeah, I wish we could go back and know what we were going to do, so you could kind of customize what you were going to take to it.
I didn't take marketing. I had a friend in marketing, and I always thought the project she did was cool.
Yeah.
And if I had to go back, I would definitely take a marketing class. I'd be a marketing major, I guess.
Yeah. Well, speaking of learning, I know one guy that taught me a lot and that taught you a lot as well. A living legend I got to see Tuesday at the indoor flying event in Smyrna, Mr. L.A. Johnston.
And if you ever used Hobby, I'm sorry, I took it right off the phone.
There you go. Me in L.A. Tuesday night at the indoor flying.
How's LA doing? LA was the senior tech for Hobby Lobby International.
Nice.
What's the bid on? I'm going to go check it out and see what the bid is. It might be over now.
Somebody said they restarted it.
Yeah, because they couldn't get what they wanted.
I'm sorry. What's the new name of Hobby Lobby?
Hobby Express.
Hobby Express.
I think I've taken it out of my mind on purpose. But I'm actually working from L.A. Johnson's workbench from Hobby Lobby. It's historical, and it's what I work from every day. I think it's awesome. Very mad.
I think they had Scott posted they had a $9,500 bid.
Current bid $9,000, $9,500 for a business. Man, oh man! I wonder what their reserve is.
Yeah, really.
Probably 199,000.
I was the PR marketing guy at that company at one time. Jason, you were a sales guy before you were marketing, right?
Yeah, I was sales manager, assistant sales manager, and then I took over the marketing when you left. Did that for a long time, and then product development with Mike and website and all the above.
I got something to show you, Jason.
Lots of hats.
Just to get our history right, because some people have gotten this history wrong. I left Hobby Lobby and started Billy Hell RC, and I ran that for 2 years. And then when I sold my last piece of inventory, Jim Burke called and said, I need you to run RCGroups. I'm talking with 7 days of me telling my wife, we have got to stop. We can't, I'm not making any money here. I've got to do something else. Jim Burke calls up and says, you have to run RCGroups. And that is how I made the jump to RCGroups. And that was like 13 years ago.
Yep.
Very nice. So Jason, I show this from time to time, but I'm just going to show it again because it has special meaning to me.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the Illusion from Kyosho, and one of my very first reviews for RCGroups. Jason, you were working at Hobby Lobby, and you offered this to me for review.
That's right.
Yep. And the only crash it ever had was where it hit a curb at a place called Dunwoody Flight Club, which was just a field in Atlanta that me and Vapor Trails, Bradley Bowman, and a couple of other people would fly at. It was actually, that really got me started in RC, was what we dubbed ourselves Dunwoody Flight Club, and then it got developed. But it hit a curb, and that was it. And it's been taped ever since. This has probably had tape on it for 9 years or whatever. Yeah. Good plane, man. Very slow. Like, doesn't have a lot of power. It's got a very, very, look at you can see the fan in there. Look how tiny that is, right on the, and it's only a 3S. It can't do higher than 3S. It'll grenade itself if you go higher.
Yeah, you'll pop the blades.
Yeah, but you got the little handhold here, and this is a fiberglass fuselage. This is one of the more unique planes I've ever flown, and it is a blast to fly because it sounds like a hairdryer on nitromethane. It is just the most screaming thing to top out at 60 miles an hour.
You wouldn't want to catch that upside your head.
Oh my God, you'd be dead. But good plane.
It's pretty.
Illusion Jet. Yeah. So
That's got
thanks,
Mike
Jason.
Hines
Thanks,
all over
Jason.
it. Well, everyone, we've certainly made you work this week. I appreciate all the live viewers who keep coming back, even though we dropped out. Like I said, I probably am going to grab all three of these and put them together and take out the parts I don't like.
The naughty bits.
And lace it back together. Want to wish a happy birthday to Matt Gunn. He finally turned 50. Happy birthday.
Thanks. Yeah. 50 years old minus 10 years.
And Jason finally will be a legal working. He won't be a minor next year at his next birthday. So that's exciting.
You guys know who the comedian Brian Regan is?
I know his name.
Yeah, I'm going to see him on Friday night for part of my birthday present. So
that's cool. That'd be fun.
He's good. Yeah. And then I'll show you guys the cool thing that I actually got for my birthday. Maybe I did show this or not. I don't know. This nice, beautiful grill here. So
top 10 guy present.
Yep. Always use a good grill.
That's it.
Nice.
I told Matt the number one of the top 10 must be a truck. If you had to get a guy, number one present would be a truck.
Like a brand new one or a classic?
The Rock Ray or the Emax.
Not RC.
Maybe next year.
Real.
We'll get you an RC truck.
A C10 or a old Bronco or something like that. Oh, K5. That's where I'm going. K5 Blazer.
Well, I can see by the way my inbox is filling up, it's time to move along and jump off another RC Groups podcast. I want to thank Matt Gunn and Jason Cole for joining us over and over again today.
No problem.
And I want to thank our users, which are ramping up pretty good. And this is the end of our podcast. This is traditionally where we start talking about video games. So if you have no interest in video games, we'll see you next week. And if you do, so Matt, thanks to our podcast sponsor, Hobby King at hobbyking.com. Go check them out. They always have cool stuff like the RC Groups airplane and all the small and little things. I've been adding this onto our podcast on a secondary level. And I thought, why don't I just say this on the Dangdo YouTube video?
Dangdo.
I love
Boomhauer.
So, Matt, I hadn't played War Thunder in at least a month, maybe longer.
Yeah. And you went back into it and it was awesome?
Well, I went in and I told my daughter the first game, I forgot which buttons were what. And then the second game, I came in first on my platoon. I was the leader of points. So I guess I got it back pretty quick.
I'd say so. I can't wait to get back in and play some World of Tanks.
Well, I want to get you on my War Thunder.
I know, that's what I'm thinking. That was my butt. I was about to say, but Jim wants me to play War Thunder, so I might have to do that instead.
We'll get mics on and we'll go in and start at level 1, which is almost as fun. I actually am playing I have all level of tanks now at this point in the game, but I play a lower mid-tier set of tanks that I enjoy the most.
As long as I don't have to pay to play. I can't pay to play anymore. That's the problem with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
I mean, no, but then you grind on for a year straight before you get anywhere, right?
You could grind in that game and get some nice tanks and it would not be a lot of work.
Okay.
And once again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out warthunder.com. They are not a sponsor. This is not a sponsored advertisement. They have full scale airplanes for World War II into early Korean jets. And they fly in a scale-like manner. They look scale-like. You can win nose art and stuff like that. So it's not totally off topic here. I'm a tank guy just because for whatever reason I enjoy that the most. But the flying is amazing. Hell, I'll go find us some screenshots real quick.
Yeah, let's see some stuff. So I can't believe that they've put so much time and effort into 3 different branches of this game, right? You have air, tank, and then you have sea. Is it naval battles also?
The naval aspect right now.
So World of Tanks, there's also World of Warships or World of Ships or whatever, and they have a pretty good ship battle simulator. But I'm just not into it.
I don't see myself ever doing that. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Jason, if you have something to do or okay, present to everyone, widescreen. So this is an external view of one of the airplanes. And This is not an easy game. This is not very arcade-like in that you can just randomly go in and be good. You have to actually fly and know what you're doing. I would love to get a cockpit view of what's
somebody
going on.
Somebody is on that aircraft 6 and just punching it full of holes.
Well, he's big and slow, and he's begging to be shot down. So down here, you can see your ring where your bombs will drop. I said drums again.
Drums.
So then you can have tail gunners, and the tail gunner can work with you, or you can man the tail gun.
Holy moly, that guy's going in. Is he just skimming the ground there, or is he actually about to crash?
I guess he's not crashing, but you can land and you can fuel up and put bombs back on and head back out.
So is this a game you fly with a control yoke, or you just do your keyboard?
Yeah, this is only keyboard. Some people try it with sticks, and it does not work for them. I have sticks right here, and I never use it. I'm not happy with this video. I want to show the real experience that I want to see a first person. So here's some jet airplay.
There's a World of Tanks ad right at the front of War Thunder.
Dang company. Video. So the maps are pretty vast. There you go.
It's a MiG.
So they just recently redid all the cockpits to be totally scale. So your gauges actually work. Everything is right on. You can VR it, but it's not very good. I would not suggest any VR in this game. You'll get killed so quick.
I like the horizon there. It almost has a bit of it looks like some smog or something, you know.
So up to your right, you have a map, and this shows you where everyone is at, not thing, but your opponents are. And up to the left is all the information on your bird, throttle speed, altitude, fuel, oil, engine. So if you get shot, it lets you know. And basically you have to get up and fly over. And if you're smart, you get yourself a wingman that's an actual person. So everyone you see out here that's flying, these are all people. And I don't like to play games against computers. I like to play games against real people.
It's a lot more fun. Wow, good detail on the ground.
It's amazing. And Matt suggested these monitors that I'm running here, and I've got a 1080 card in my machine now. And when I fired it up last night, I was just like, holy cow, it is so realistic looking.
Yeah, it's that Acer monitor. It's really nice.
And
somebody's shooting at him. Overload G. So somebody's on a 6 right now shooting at him, right?
So you will literally black out if you pull too many Gs.
As you should.
Yeah. Actually, everything pinpoints. It starts and gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And then you got to get off of it or you will go black. And you'll lose control of the plane for a certain amount of time.
Wow. Look at that. He's just dived back in. This looks cool, but I'm almost just a little too reluctant to start just another style.
Well, I think of you, and I always think, man, the lower tiers are just as much fun as the higher tiers. So let's go. My favorite guy on here is Fly Daily. He just doesn't annoy me, and he puts out regular videos. Let's find a tank I like. Heck, whatever. The German line here is pretty awesome. So that's how scale they are. It's not like you're playing a game. I mean, they're slow, and there's a couple of different modes. You can play arcade mode, and for me, that's faster gameplay. And then you can play a real mode. So basically, he's going through the armor of this tank, and everything in the tank is built off of the original tank.
Yep.
So he's looking at what rounds it would take to penetrate the front armor and all that. Also, all the ammunition that you get is all the ammunition that tank actually fired. And you start out with a couple of rounds, and then you earn the more heavier rounds, more armor, things like that. You can also call in artillery. So then this is how I play. I play third person off the top of the thing. You look at the map, you figure out where you're headed. I have every map you're looking at memorized at this point.
So when you call in artillery, are you calling in other players that are playing artillery tanks like in World of Tanks, or is artillery AI?
Some tanks can be you can grind it out so it has the artillery option, and it's an AI artillery. So you zoom out to that map, and like if they're all on a B point, you can throw artillery on that. And the more you play, the more accurate the artillery becomes.
Oh, so you get better at calling it in. Yeah,
you grind, and then the people in the tank actually get better skills with the more time you put in on them. So that more accuracy, they load shells faster. So when you ace out a crew, you could go against a tank that's exactly like you, except you are reloading faster and targeting better and all that.
Target destroyed.
So I'm not sure why this appeals to me, but this is my favorite online thing to do. So I'm
having flashbacks to World of Tanks here. So
does World of Tanks look like this?
Absolutely, almost identical.
Oh,
but I mean, there are differences. You know, there's subtle differences,
right?
But it also looks pretty much the same.
You saw that Warbird go in. So if you do well and you don't die in 3 minutes, you actually can call up. They'll give you an airplane or a bomber, and so you can stay at the back line and then click a button and jump into a bomber. And then it helps me figure out where everyone's at to progress forward my tank. But also you can go in and bomb them or shoot them or rocket them or whatever, kamikaze them, which I do.
Very cool.
So that's it.
All right.
All right. Well, I guess that's it.
We just stopped. Oh, I thought it said stop. I got confused again. I thought it shut off on me, but it didn't.
Thank goodness. All right. Well, I guess y'all have no video gaming input today.
Not really. I've just been playing, Player Underground Battlegrounds, and that's it. I haven't really been doing much of anything else. And I play late night. It's like put the kid to bed, come downstairs, play for a little bit. Between that and watching Suits, there's just not a lot of other time for gaming,
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been watching a lot of Suits too, man.
What season are you on?
We're on 7 now.
Holy moly, we just got done with season 2. We're starting season 3 tomorrow.
Good.
We just finished Black Mirror, which was pretty awesome. It's kind of weird stories. Everything's independent of the other.
What's it on?
I don't know. Netflix, I guess.
I think Netflix, maybe. Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Well, I guess we'll get back to work and thank everybody. We still have a lot of live viewers. Pretty amazing that you guys are hanging out with us to this point. So we will see you next week, and we will all think good thoughts and try not to have blackouts next week like we had this week.
For real. No issues. Cross your fingers.
All right, y'all. Simmer down now. We'll talk to you later. I'm Jim T. Graham, your host.
Jason, and I'm Matt.
Later.
All right.